country. As a party, under my administration, under my leadership, we have been a governing party for approximately 10 out of our country's 60-odd years of life. Looking back, there are things we can be proud of, and admittedly, there are things that we could also have done better. As a party, we can say with pride that it was our administration that oversaw the implementation in the stipulated timelines. As a party, we can say that we left behind a more connected country than we found it. Increased electricity connections that we found to over 70%. We began the process of modifying dilapidated colonial infrastructure with the introduction of the SGR, the development of Lamu Port, the revival of Kisumu Port, amongst many others. In health, our Linda Mama, the removal of maternity fees in our health centers gave and saw great improvement in maternal health and improved child mortality rates. Our management equipment services saw medical equipment such as dialysis machines, scanning machines, laboratories, and other equipment become available to distant corners of our country, with counties like Mandera being able to carry out cesarean sections and other such operations for the first time since independence. We restored the sanctity of our exams. We maintained the free primary education that we inherited from President Kibaki. We expanded the free day secondary education and reduced the burden of healthcare for our parents with the introduction of our students. In security, despite initial challenges, we invested heavily in our infrastructure, security infrastructure. We restructured our security organs and deepened an interagency approach, thereby ensuring that our security agencies were better able to handle both domestic and external threats. This machine that we built, however, was not to be used and designed to face its own citizens, and it is not supposed to have been a source of fear and conflict with our citizens. Ilikuwa ya kulinda wananchi, sio kuumiza wananchi. We worked as a party to bring greater cohesion in our social construct, to reduce ethnic tensions and address both social and regional equalities. This noble effort, unfortunately, was used against us in the last campaigns, it being called an attempt to erode democracy. I wonder what they call theirs today. I can go on, but that is for another time. Equally, my friends, it is true to say that we also face challenges, key among them being our war against corruption in government that was less than successful. Our intergovernment relations also left much to be desired, a case in point being the uneasy relationship with the judiciary over the appointment of judges. To my mind, the framers of our Constitution intended that the different arms of government will be simultaneously independent, but always interdependent, for the common good of our people and nation. It was never our intention to deny them their independence or to interfere with their operations. All of this and more, but as I have said, this is a story for another day. So therefore now, we need to ask ourselves, where are we and where do we want to go? Ladies and gentlemen, over the years as a leader, some things have become apparent and clear to me. That you succeed by looking at past successes, injecting new ideas, and improving upon them. And you fail by ignoring past mistakes and therefore falling folly of repeating the same. This, while always having an open mind and a listening ear, even to those you disagree with, and especially to the voices of our younger generations. For in a world that is ever evolving as fast as it is with such insights that it is then that such insights become crucial for true transformation to occur. A balance of all this is what makes a stable and pragmatic nation, one that is filled with hope and not despair, a nation at peace with itself, and one that is able to transist with ease from one generation to the next. In the last general election, I endeavored to pass this message. Unfortunately, it fell on deaf ears and was lost in the noise of insults, character assassinations, myths and stories of dynasties and hustlers, and so on. Yeah. Today, many of the gains we had in the past have been eroded. Linda Mama and others replaced by new, untried, untested schemes. And while we wait for these experiments to work, Kenyans suffer and our progress is retarded. As we continue to dwell in rhetoric rather than in progress, we repeat the mistakes of the past. Indeed, today, some of the truths we spoke of yesterday have become the reality check of today, while some of the myths and falsehoods have become the nightmare that many are living. So again, why are we here today? Ladies and gentlemen, the past can inform us, but the present can shape the future. So the first thing, as our Secretary General has told us, our first mission today was to pass amendments to our party's constitution. amendments to ensure that the machinations of the past shall never be used again to hold back our progress. Second is to seek your approval to put in place measures to rejuvenate our party and set in motion a process of injecting new blood into our party structures and hierarchy. Men and women, especially the young, and when I say the young, I am not just saying young in body. We also want young in mind and spirit. Men and women of integrity who can be trusted with our future. Men and women who